guys, welcome back to WD18, the Watford fan channel. Welcome back to another podcast. We are back. It's been a long time coming. We've got
time.
Robin, Shane, lads. How you doing today?
Great.
Good. It's good to have
It's
you.
good to not have any domestic football.
Yeah, that is a good thing. But we've got the lads here today to be talking about a lot of things. Actually, we've got the transfer window to cover. Our poor start to the Premier League season. Have you in or have you out? I know that'll be splitting opinion in the comment section. Deeney's injury and also matches till October, so
such a positive outlook.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good right now.
This.
A lot to talk about, and I think the best place to start is our start to the Premier League season. Now we walked into the room. We'll call it a studio. It's
studio.
It's a spare room.
That's into the studio.
And
Got his semi-final flag.
Fuck's sake.
I've just seen he's got his
Take
final,
me
the yellow flag that he waved at the
God,
final.
Memories
Beautiful.
right there. And I go to Shane, first four games of the season, and immediately his head dropped. And I think that pretty much sums up our start to the season.
Can we restart? Can we quit and go back to new career and start again?
How bad has the start to the season been, lads?
Oh, me first.
Yeah, go for it now.
Half an hour later. No, it's been just disappointing, isn't it? I didn't expect. I think first month of the season. All right, you look at some of the games in there. Right, you got Brighton at home, got Everton away, West Ham at home. Obviously, a cup game in that as well. But to leave August without a single win, it's just almost unheard of. Like if you said that to any Watford fan the night before the Brighton game, end of this month, you won't have a win.
You'd be bottom of the
We all would have
league.
laughed.
Yeah.
We all would have laughed.
Yeah.
Negativity.
The absolute confidence we had going into the season.
For me, the confidence dropped after Brighton.
Oh, I think the thing is, when the Premier League fixtures were announced, we were all thinking, what a start
We'll
to the season
be
we've got.
flying again,
And
yeah.
actually, when we look in hindsight...
Everton away in particular, as the
Yeah.
first big away game, I was like, all right, great. That's great.
Booked your tickets too early for that one.
I put my tickets
God,
for
what
the
a day
first
that
month
was.
too early in general because haven't seen a win. All right, Coventry, but it's Coventry.
We haven't seen a Premier League win since
haven't seen a Premier
a
League
home
win.
Premier League win we haven't seen in a long
And
time.
let's be blunt. Let's be really, really realistic. All cards on the table. When are we going to see the first Premier League win? You look ahead to our next set of matches in September. It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, how have we left that without a win? And there are many reasons as to why we have. Many people have pointed the blame in different areas. I think there's a mixture of maybe three things.
I think so as well.
At least three big areas of which we're going to probably go on to, especially one in particular in really big.
We just need to dissect what we're doing wrong and why we're not picking up all
Where
these
has
points.
it gone wrong though, Robin? Because, I mean, Shane said three factors. I think the three factors are, number one, the players haven't turned up. I think management's been poor. And I think recruitment's been awful.
Yeah.
So, defensively. Not as a whole.
We've been making a lot of chances, you have to say that. I mean, we've had plenty of opportunities to score. I mean, that period against West Ham where we were in their half for a good 30 minutes. And
We
Will
didn't look
Hughes,
like
obviously.
23 shots.
Yeah.
23 shots.
Absolutely mental.
It's not good enough.
Madness.
I'd argue that we did look like scoring purely because of the amount of chances we were creating. You thought one of these is going to go in.
No, I actually thought more along the lines of West Ham are sweating, but that's all right because West Ham will find a way out of it. And ultimately,
And they did,
They did find a way out of it. A great ball on the left to Felipe Heders, and he leaves it back in there. Cathcart's picking his nose.
Defensive mishaps.
And they scores. And from that moment on, West Ham, they didn't look back.
Yeah.
They went on and they got that third goal. Defensively atrocious. We're going to pick up on this so many times. I don't know how many times we're going to mention it, but three of those guys in particular, I think need to be called out. I'm not going to call out the fourth guy because he's on the back of my shirt. I spent about 20 quid getting it on.
Is it Cholabas or Holabas?
It is.
He's got Sholavas. He's fully gone and got Sholavas.
Yeah, I did say before you came
After
in.
the Brighton game, guys, I got that, so I was expecting our form to pick up. Yeah.
It didn't.
I think we'll come on to that actually.
Moving away from
Interesting one at just sidetrack a little bit. Interesting one at the weekend against Newcastle. Not even including Jose Holabas. The rumour was going around that he's had a fallout with Javi.
Yeah.
Whether that's just someone putting two
I
and
mean,
two
the
together.
tweet they did about it was really weird.
Technical decision.
Decision.
What
I mean,
is this?
Capu was ill, which they said, which is fair. You can get an illness, but
Who was ill?
out,
yes.
don't say he's
Hangover,
out due to a
yes.
technical decision. Like that just makes it worse.
It's not
Just
Hawkeye.
don't say anything. Just say Capu's got illness. Just,
No. I think he said Capu's out with an illness and Holabas is left out due to a technical decision.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. That's what I don't get.
Capu, I understood.
A technical decision.
Holabas-
Why mention that? It just creates more stuff among the
Yeah,
fans.
I think it was kind of fueling the fire, wasn't it,
Yeah,
on Twitter
very
particularly.
weird.
But against Newcastle, and I think we'll touch on the other 3 games, but it was interesting from Javi. He switched to 5 at the back or 3 at the back, however you looked at it. And I think the technical decision was probably that he didn't think Holebas was a wing back. Having said that, what is Jose Holebas thinking when Daryl Janmat, a right back, who's playing over him at left wing back? Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't look good.
I mean, he scored against Coventry. I'm glad he got rewarded for that.
I think he should have played.
Yeah.
I think he should have played, but it's just not a good
sign. It's an
sign.
interesting one.
What annoyed me more, I think, was the fact that actually there were some bloody brilliant performances against Coventry, none of which were rewarded. Except for Janmat.
Yeah.
But Janmat was an obvious one.
He's going to play Newcastle,
Keena, for example. Like, where the hell
was he on the
was
bench?
He?
I don't think he was.
Chalobah.
I don't think he was on the bench.
Chalobah was on the bench, and then he brought on Success.
You have 1 midfielder on the bench and 4 forwards when you're playing 5-3-2. It does boggle me a bit.
That's worrying in itself, right? But I think the thing that really, really worried me, having actually been up the game and having.
Fair play for going, by the way. Bloody hell.
yeah.
All the fans that went.
I mean, to be fair, I had to go and see a paramedic when I got up to the top.
Get the defibrillator out.
Well, apparently there was a lift, but it wasn't available to me, so I'm fine.
Yeah, I had a few fans take advantage of that.
But I'll be honest, right? What worried me more than anything else was it was 1-1. The game was tightly poised. Newcastle, for me, had the lion's share of the chances. Really, at no point did he think.
Let's go for it.
No.
Or
More so than that, at no point did he say, let's bring on our top scorer from last season. Delafeu on the bench. Sat on the bench.
Welbeck and
next
Sarr
to
on the
Welbeck
bench as well, yeah.
and next to Sarr. Delafeu was probably puzzled by the fact he hasn't managed to come on. Imagine how Sarr and Welbeck are feeling. I thought I was here to influence this team.
Yeah.
I'm not coming on.
Can you explain?
Instead, the donkey that we all call Isaac Success came on.
He had two glaring opportunities.
Yeah.
He did out. I know. I understand what you're saying.
I think you in that situation, people are upset. Not at Success directly. Like, you can think what you think of him as a player. He played well against Coventry, whatever.
Anyone that booed Success, by the way, absolute disgrace.
I don't think they were booing Success. I think they're booing the decision to bring him on when you've got Sarr, Welbeck and Delafeu on the bench.
Let me tell you something. From a guy that was in the stands, there was some booing at Isaac Success directly. Which I thought was
as him as a person, as a player.
There are lots of people booing, but I heard a few choice words directed at Isaac, which was out of order. Not the right substitute, but you don't heckle the player for that.
You can't. The player doesn't be. Oh yeah, put me on instead of these two, please.
Now, luckily we're at St James's Park and no one can hear you at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
There's more chance of
some faint noise.
Hearing than there is anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting point, Shane. You mentioned about what is Ismaila Sarr thinking? Joined from Rennes, supposed to be. I know, of course, he was on holiday, African Cup of Nations. It's kind of impacted on his pre-season, but he must be thinking he's on the bench against
Sadio Mane's done it.
Come on here.
Sadio Mane did the Africa Cup of Nations. He started banging him in for Liverpool.
I mean, it was.
That's the thing.
It's a little bit different than the fact he didn't have to make the move to another club.
Yeah, true.
So you've got to think about that. And he was on holiday.
Mane is a completely different animal.
Yeah.
Compared to Sarr.
Yeah.
Just in general. But I think.
Just Newcastle in general.
The one thing actually that I remember saying, I think, I wasn't at the Coventry game, but I was listening to like the commentary and all that.
Yeah, highlights.
5 Live and everything as well. And the 5 Live reporter said at the end, Ismaila Sarr had a good 82 minutes. That's him up and running now for the season with more appearances to come in like a match run. I was like, oh, great. Yeah, cool. So he sounded like as if he had a great game. Turn up in Newcastle, see the team.
Doesn't play.
He's not there. Like,
can you explain the thought process around that?
No, because I'm not happy. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the only person you can talk to.
Maybe I can say, all right, do you know, AFCON, all right, there's a tiny little bit of justification there. It's not much for me, but it's maybe just a line share. Welbeck for me, nah. 90 minutes against Coventry, you start him against Newcastle. You at least bring him off the bench against Newcastle. And to leave Delafeu on the bench for me, criminal. Our top scorer, and he sat on the bench. What must he be thinking? Now with Sarr, I can maybe understand. In the back of his mind, he's probably thinking, okay, well, I'm going to get chances and all that.
Was that a little accent?
Was that accent? I was going to say, okay, well, I'm going to get chances.
Just a little bit of a Spanish twang there.
Bit of the Joey Bolton.
Joey Bolton.
A bit of a
Steve McClaren is shoving.
We'll go Arsenal.
I'm going to get a rinse for that. I know that.
Oh, that's so
but with Sarr, right, in all
honesty,
honesty, right, he'll be thinking either one or two things. First of all, I'll get my chance. And secondly, this is quite worrying, given I was linked to 2 other clubs, and I could well have gone there and be starting regular
straight
games.
Away, yeah.
Would Palace have benched him?
Probably not.
Would
Definitely
Bournemouth have
not.
benched him?
Probably not.
Also not.
But Bournemouth, I didn't know Bournemouth for Leeds.
Bournemouth Wellingborough.
Oh, well, I knew
for like-
Palace were
for
coming
like
in for
half an hour on Sky. And then,
That was to do with Zaha, wasn't it? That was all if the Zaha
yes,
deal
Yeah.
went
the
through.
Zaha deal where they were going to come along and hijack ours and start. He looked bright against West Ham, but we need to be able to see more of him.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure we'll come on to transfers.
Yeah.
We
One
mentioned-
point I
Go
just
on,
want to make is that Sar's not here because he loves Watford Football Club and
No,
wants
of
to play
course.
for. He wants to make a name for himself in the Premier
Yeah, of
League.
course.
He wants that opportunity to show off to the Premier League and to show to these top 6 clubs, hey, look at me, I'm the next Richarlison, I'm the next Daniel James, despite being from Senegal. But
Well, that's what-
you get what I mean?
That's the thing. That's what Watford would have proposed.
Yeah.
They would have said, you know what, we'll give you the spotlight
Yeah.
to be the main man at Watford, to be playing week in week out.
Exactly.
And I think potentially he's thinking at the moment, I could have probably joined Palace and played.
Every game.
Yeah. I mean, it is early days. You don't want to
It
get
is.
too ahead of
No,
ourselves.
course, no.
But talking about early days, talk about the first 4 games. I'm not going to go into depth at each one because we could be here for a long time. And I think the plan
And
with
you'll see a grown man cry.
Yeah, and I think the plan with the plan is with the podcast is to kind of do one after every 2 matches, so we can do it in depth. And I don't want to spend that time doing that because you can watch the fan counts back and see our thoughts on what has been a really poor start.
More
but
views.
but just a little plug.
Yeah, there we go, vlog it.
But what I want to say about the first 4 games, where has it gone wrong, Robin? You look at the first 4 games. I think
What,
if we look
table?
at, I've got a few stats here, right?
Yeah, come on.
Bottom of goals scored, 2 goals scored only. Yeah, so Newcastle in 19th with 1 more, and defensively, 8 goals conceded. Bournemouth, Chelsea, and Norwich all below.
I mean, Norwich and Chelsea are fine because they're scoring loads.
Yeah,
It's like it's a Liverpool situation, sort of.
and Bournemouth even then have
Yeah,
scored
even
5
Bournemouth.
goals.
Yeah,
Norwich had a
So
brilliant start. Why? Because they've got a goal scorer.
Do
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
and he's starting
Pookie?
games.
And they've got a system that works for them.
It works.
I watched that Tifo football video on there,
Oh, yeah.
the way they press and the way they work. They've got a team that know whatever team they're facing, they're going to carry out that game plan every single time. And yeah, it may not work against Man City, but hey, it's Man City. Does it matter? Against every other single team, Norwich are going to give people problems. I look at our team and I go, what game plan did we have? Deeney's playing, okay, let's just lump it up long to him, which is what I saw at Everton.
Yeah.
You've got 4 or 5 attacking players there, and your thought is, let's long ball it.
And don't forget as well with Norwich, you got to bear in mind it's the new Premier League bounce for them as well. New
Momentum.
league, new sets of players coming there. Visiting there. They're going to make that. They're going to make the atmosphere actually really quite intense.
and we saw that under Kike. We've experienced that in the
Yeah,
first season
yeah,
We
back.
experienced that. And, we gave teams a bloody nose. Never forget Liverpool at the Vic. Came very close when we played United there as well. Chelsea, we managed to get a draw as well at the Vic against those kind of teams. Norwich, they will struggle in certain matches, but
They'll be fine.
depends on when
You
some
back
of
them
their
at Carrow
kick-off times
Road.
are.
Yeah, you back them at home.
Yeah,
I mean, you look at our home form, 0 points at home. We're the only team yet to get a point at home.
We're the only team yet to win, I think.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
we
so.
are the only team now left to, 'cause Newcastle
Yeah.
beat Spurs,
Wow,
Jesus,
which I
man.
didn't think was ever going to happen.
That's not helped
Actually,
our
maybe from
situation.
that moment, when the full-time whistle went at that game, and Newcastle had won 1-0, that's when I thought, all right, this
Relegation battle season,
could
yeah.
be interesting. Because Newcastle didn't turn up and lie down. Spurs had a load of chances in that game. 1 goal, 3 points for Newcastle. Can we? And the question I often pose to myself is, Newcastle can go to Spurs and do that.
Keep a clean sheet.
Who did it last season? Palace did it a couple of weeks ago against United. They
Yeah.
did it last season. Can we go to one of the top 6 sides, score an early goal, and
just
keep
defend.
a clean sheet?
Yeah.
Not on your bloody life.
We're not
We
going to
can't
keep a
do
clean
that.
sheet. I can't see where our first clean sheets come from. Maybe Sheffield United at home, but that's 4 games away.
But even
I don't
they're
even
physical
think that's
side,
gonna
aren't
happen.
they?
Yeah, exactly.
Lundstrom for the fantasy team.
I think the thing is,
Captain him, mate.
two things I want to ask. The first
Billy
one is, do you feel like Watford have lost a bit of identity in terms of the style of football? Because I think we knew last season under Javi, 4-4-2, narrow.
Blitzen,
we had the target
yeah.
man in Troy. Delafeu running behind. We had the 2 centre mids who were so pivotal, and that's the thing with the 4-4-2. You need your 2 centre mids to be bossing games.
Yeah.
It just feels like this year we've potentially lost a bit of identity, and that's what I've noticed from the first 4 games anyway.
I don't know. Words like identity get like chucked around
of
and stuff
course.
like that.
Yeah,
I think it's just boil it down to a style of play that has either had to change because of Troy's injury, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a little while. But like when you do lose your main focal point of attack, no matter the criticism he gets or the praise he gets, it's going to change your style of play.
Yeah.
And Javi's decided, I think he went 5 at the back because we're leaking goals. And I think,
Can you blame him?
personally, I'd stick with 5 at the back for Arsenal. Jesus, you've got Pepe, Lacazette and Aubameyang. You have to play 5 at the back against them. Or 4 at the back, Craig and Craig. Don't know how at the start of the season we thought they were good enough to get us top 10, let alone keep us up.
Yeah.
There was some real buzz about those two. We were all optimistic about the two Craigs, but they've been a bit poor.
Yeah.
Craig and Craig.
I think
Sounds like a shit law.
Do you work there?
I think the thing is, I'll mention, Robin, about the identity thing. I know it's a bold statement, isn't it? But I'll ask you both this. When you go to Watford now, do you know the style of football we're going to play?
No.
I've got a clue, mate. Is it swift counter-attacks like in the Championship under
I generally
Zola?
go to Vicarage Road now and I think...
Don't know what he's going to try and do today.
It's you can pick out of a hat.
It's
I
a
genuinely
lottery,
do
yeah.
not know what we're going to be playing. I know Javi will always go for the 4-4-2 apart from Newcastle, but he was forced into that, really.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to change from that.
No, he doesn't.
Right? I go to Watford now and I think, you know what? What style of football are we trying to achieve
I think
here?
the only game of the season whereby I didn't have that kind of that insecurity about our identity was actually the Brighton game, because it was the first game
Start
of the season.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go. You know, pitching up to West Ham, I was nervous. Pitching up to Newcastle, I was nervous as well. I didn't know. You know, even simple things like the team selection. Like last season.
Everyone goes mental at team selection now, yeah.
But do you know what? It's okay because we've got this happening, we've got that happening, we're having a good season. Yeah, it's great to see X, Y, and Z in the start.
Why is he playing?
This time though, you
Literally.
look at the stark contrast in the team selection for someone like Newcastle. So much was just riding on that, and when I saw that team, I mean, I wanted to go home, to be quite honest.
I mean,
because
can't forget last season.
I was just like, how are we gonna negotiate this game? And then I saw Newcastle's team, and I was like, right, well, all their big players to play, all the players that claimed were like
unfit or not ready,
except
yeah.
for their new signing,
Saint Maxim, yeah.
who I knew was going to be out anyway.
Who was gonna
Everyone
come
in
to
there,
us.
everyone in there started. Joe Linton started. He hustled and bustled around the pitch, and I knew. And the minute I saw the team, I was like, all right, well, the two Craigs are going to struggle. I'm not sure about him. Oh, no Capu in the midfield. That's going to be difficult. I wasn't really doing that last
Pereira
season.
up front.
Pereira up front. God.
What was that? What was that?
Pereira up top.
thing
And you've
is-
got De La Feu on the bench.
It's
It's
a
weird because
one,
the
isn't
team
it?
selection
It's a
last
weird
year, look at Wolves away last year. We came away from that with a 2-0 win. We played Ben Wilmot, Sebastian Prodel came off the bench.
And
We
when-
played Isaac Success and Gerard
He came off
Delafeu
the
up front. We played Massina at left back. That team was not
Bloody
the best team we could have
But there was a
played
feel
by a
good factor,
mile.
wasn't there?
But we had a feel good factor. We went there, we scored 2 quick goals. We partied the whole afternoon.
Please take me back.
I see us going, I've
Please,
put Wolves
please take me
away.
back to 10 seconds before that first goal.
Oh my God.
Relive that again.
Is that one of the best
Unbelievable.
minutes of your life?
Oh, yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, that was
As
phenomenal.
Shane says, orgasmic.
Orgasmic.
Loves
Absolutely
it.
orgasmic
Orgasmic.
football.
Beautiful.
Orgasmic.
And there was like this video. Do you remember the video? I think it was John Boyd WD18. Have you seen him? The
I have
vlog
seen
on
it.
Fa-
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Big shout out to him. He does fantastic
it's
vlogs and
brilliant.
he's recording it. He's like,
I
yeah, there.
And then
Goes up
the
other
second
end.
one goes.
He just kept it recording.
He was like, what? Oh my
He's
God.
like, oh my God, take me back, please.
Only just picked myself up from the floor.
Like this year, we're going to struggle. Next 3 games. We're going to
Yeah.
have 3
And
losses.
I mean, it begs the question. September international break. I think it has probably come at a good time.
He better be
really.
working with that team
Never
so
ever been
much.
happier to sit on a Saturday night
And do nothing.
watch Ian Wright talk about England ever in my life. Like literally.
I
It's
also
nothing
look
against
at
Ian
Ian Wright.
Righty, but
Ian
This
Wright's
week,
great.
honestly, I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing to
Northern
watch England
Ireland
play.
versus
So no, we're not going to
Luxembourg.
lose 3 points this weekend.
yeah.
It's as simple as that. And that's really negative, but
That's the memes I saw on Twitter as well, knowing that Watford aren't able
Yeah,
to
it's a
concede a
proper
goal this
celebration
weekend and
because,
stuff like
It's
that.
just a stark contrast to last season, really.
but I think it's a break for the fans, and you know it's like a bit of respite for us. But my God, I hope there's some.
I hope it G's up the
Backside's been
fans for
kicked
Arsenal at home though. I do
Yeah.
hope it G's up that attitude of,
Yeah.
but it's Arsenal. We've seemed. I don't want to say we've had their number because last season we didn't beat them, but like over our Premier League stay, in the FA Cup, in the league, we've beaten Arsenal. They are a
give them a
beatable
good game.
team. Arsenal,
Give them a
no
good
matter who they have up front, you can always say David Luiz in defence, Socrates.
It's just a shame Troy's not playing, is it?
Yeah.
He bullied that back line, I think.
He would,
But I
think
mean,
he would
even
bully that back
Delafeu
line.
and Sarr
Bully Luiz on
against
his own.
that back 4, the pace, they're going to struggle with that. 100%.
If he plays them.
I know, exactly. That's the
If he plays
thing. What he's going
But
to
that's
play?
the thing, the stark contrast from last year. I think we're 11 points worse than we were at this stage last season. Confirm it with the stats already. Go on.
Last season
Confirm
we
it.
were on 12 points
That is-
after
that
4
is a
games.
harrowing statement.
This is
Jesus.
some interesting stats here. So, last season, 11 points worse.
Yeah.
Season under Silva, first 4 games, 7 points worse. Season under Mazzari, 3 points worse. And then Kike, 2 points worse. So although we are only on 1 point at the moment, and I know it's the manner of which we lost these...
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're on a winless run at the moment, winless run of 4, but it's the manner in which we lost Brighton, Everton and West Ham. And honestly, Newcastle was a shocking
But being
performance
brutally honest though with that,
Can't believe
if I'm looking through all those seasons, the Walter season was just like, yeah, this guy's great. Halfway through the season, no, this guy's shit. Right.
Beating
PK
Arsenal.
was a different one because it was our first season back in the Prem. I wasn't expecting a fat lot, to be quite honest with you.
We were like, if we don't go down, it's good. And we didn't go down.
Yeah.
So it was good.
It's the mindset, isn't it? Move on to a big talking point on Twitter, splitting Watford fans at the moment, actually. I'd say, is it 50-50? Would you...
Well, no,
60-40?
because we're talking about Javi and Javi out.
Javi in or Javi out?
I think it's very interesting because half of it is, I'd say, the board and the club's fault, and half of it is Javi and the way he deals with the team. I think you've got to look at it because recruitment, not Javi's decision. Very clear that it's never the manager's decision, actually. There's a reason why it's head coach and not manager at Watford, actually. I don't see the phrase manager used quite a lot. It's mainly head coach, which is obvious. He's tactically responsible for deploying the team on a Saturday.
Well, I think my dad said it to me the other day. It was a really good analogy. He was like, you got a conductor in the orchestra, right? And the orchestra is the team. It's the Watford players.
Yeah.
But that conductor can change, and it's everything stays
yeah,
the same.
and everything stays the same. Yeah.
Move on to one of the big debates circulating around the Watford fan base at the moment on Twitter, on all social platforms. I think everyone's talking about it. I think particularly it was a bit more prevalent after the Newcastle game. People are saying, get rid of him now. No, keep him to the next October international break. And to be fair, there was an article released by the Telegraph suggesting that Javi's position will be reassessed in October. So I think that has been confirmed. And we did release a tweet from a source we trust that he was close to being sacked after the West Ham game, and they've eyed up the Getafe manager as a potential replacement. Now, we did get a lot of stick for that, for releasing it, but we wouldn't if we didn't trust the source, and we don't just make things up.
You can imagine as well that all the time they know who is the manager that's going to come in and replace Javi if needs be. They're not stupid.
And I've also got to say, and I was reading the Athletic Q&A with Adam Leventhal the other day, and he's been doing some brilliant content actually on there, and I've subscribed, so I do suggest you do it. Some really good articles. And someone asked him, is that true? The
Getafe thing,
and he did say there was no smoke without fire.
Yeah.
So
which basically confirms.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not like we've gone right. Let's look through the Spanish league. Getafe? Let's just.
Honestly, we wouldn't make things. I just wanted to clarify that because I know a lot of people have been asking me about that whole thing, and I just wanted to reaffirm that had been kind of. He's obviously has a number of candidates, but that he is one of them. He is one of the choices. But as I mentioned, we put that tweet out after the West Ham game. Yep. His position has been questioned, there's no doubt about it. I'd be very surprised if the Potsos and Scott Duxbury haven't held talks with him about his future.
Well, they have.
Clearly.
Well, they have.
And
I'll put it to you. Would you have got rid of him after the Newcastle game, Shane?
This is a tough one. The reason being is because I can't see it getting any better. Like, I look at that team right now. A lot of people have been talking about there's been like a rift in the dressing room and all that. I think a few people on Twitter, I noticed it. Filippo Giraldi wasn't allowed in the technical area after the West Ham game. He was physically restrained. There was actually a picture, I think, of a steward, the side, but I forgot, like some sort of like railing between like the Elton John and the Watford dugout.
Technical area, yeah.
And there's like a bit of roping and stuff there, and Giraldi's actually been restrained and has been told to actually go about this. So he wanted to have a word with someone in the dugout about something, and he was restrained and he was taken away. As we've said, there are many different reasons for it, for why we're on this slump. I'm going to use this time now to say Giraldi should have left ages ago. The recruitment hasn't been good enough.
The Potsos are fine as a thing, but you can change your transfer direct. Yeah, the Potsos themselves are fine.
Gino is a legend, and we sing it. We know that. I don't see a song about Giraldi, and there's a reason for that, because he is our chief recruiter. He's the guy who ultimately says that. With all the signings that you see, certain signings have a handshake from Giraldi. You always see that. For me, he's let us down. Defensively, shocking. 35 mil for a winger. Yeah, great. Sar's a baller. Excellent. I have no doubt in my mind that he's a baller. But why are you then sticking him on the bench. Javi, and then you kind of look at it. The recruitment there, 35 mil. Switches to Javi. Why are you then benching the guy?
Not
Why
playing
not
him. Yeah.
spend more money and shore up that defence? And bring in a cheaper, as we've mentioned, a cheaper left-sided midfield player.
Yeah.
From my perspective, though, with Javi, as I say, I can't see it getting any better. I think his days are numbered. I genuinely do. And it worried me, you know, when the tweet and everything came out. From my perspective, the Potters have already sounded up the guy who's going to replace him. It's now a matter of time. And that bloke in Getafe is going to be on standby. I think his name is Bordelais or someone. Yeah.
Well, I think
He's going to be on standby.
Duxbury's even confirmed that the fans forum. When I remember, I think me and you went,
Yes.
and he said,
I went to one last season as well.
no, he has said we have a scouting team
All
for
the
managers.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Of course,
there's no way anyone who thinks that they haven't got the manager lined up already.
Of course. Yeah.
I mean,
They'll
it's
have
probably
3 or 4
literally just
candidates.
needs to write
Yeah,
into
they've probably got like 4 different drafts for 4 different people lined up. I was also going to say,
I put it to you, Robin. Anyway.
yeah,
Go on,
I think if we lose to Wolves, if we get 0 points from the next 3 games, he'll go either before or after the Sheffield United game.
But this is the point, right? You know, this.
Because there's no point giving a new manager Arsenal and Man City.
Yeah,
What's
but-
the point?
Yeah, but is this going to make things worse? Like, I look at certain other decisions now, alright? Now, we talk about the lineup and everything. There have been a few instances from people that we know very well on the channel that follow a lot of players on Instagram and all that. Lots of, fan discussions happening. Why
In
did
comment
a match
sections,
start?
yeah.
Liked by the player. This comment's been liked
The
by
Backman
2
stuff.
The
The Backman stuff on
Gomez.
Twitter.
That
God,
stuff
that's
is
do not get me
weird.
started on that.
That's
And do you know
some
what?
petty
And do
stuff.
you know what? Right, it's stuff like that you would never even have dreamed of happening last season.
Yeah.
Gomez, first of all, I love the man. Absolutely love him. He's a legend. But what in God's fucking name are you still doing here? Seriously, you're blocking the development of 2 young goalkeepers. That just needs to be said. I don't care if you're, a great guy when it comes to playing
He's a
goal
lovely
and you
person,
celebrate
yeah.
goals and you're passionate. Yeah, I get you're passionate. But please, seriously, go.
If you're signing him on a 1-year contract extension, why is it not as a goalkeeping mentor or a goalkeeping
But what
coach?
annoys me even more, right, is that we gave him the farewell at Vicarage Road.
Oh my God,
You know,
yeah,
that,
we gave him a
you know,
massive
fucking
thing.
bloody
Palace.
BT Sport were there, right in their faces. It was an emotional moment. Everyone touched on it. Wembley as well. He started at Wembley. I'm not saying Ben Foster would have saved all their goals.
Oh
but
yeah, no,
come
it doesn't
on.
matter the result.
Foster's probably sitting there now
It
thinking,
does
hang
feel
on a
like being
minute.
bugged off by
Yeah.
Garelli.
Yeah, but if you're Ben Foster, you're like, hang on a minute. This guy's not gone. He's still here. Hang on a
just
minute.
missed
I've
an
missed out on the
opportunity.
chance to play on an FA Cup
Unbelievable,
final.
isn't it? It makes you think, doesn't it? It makes
I
you think.
personally would be absolutely
Gutted,
fuming.
yeah.
I'm surprised that Foster maybe there is a little bit of.
Yeah, because he
tension
said
now
he's like
got.
Gomez deserves to play in the final and the semi-final. I don't know why we're going back so far, but I would have maybe left Gomez out of that semi-final and final squad.
Yeah, and I think I think
he deserved to play because in Foster's mind, it was his last game.
Yeah, exactly.
And then all
That's
of a
why
sudden-
Foster
and he had
thought
played
of
the
it.
run,
And then
so
Yeah.
all of a sudden, our social media teams are turning up at the bloody training ground for Gomez's first day back.
Yeah.
Imagine how awkward that was. Walking into the dressing room,
Hi,
all the
guys.
keepers there.
It's me
And I think
again.
you've got to think
And people
of-
like Dalberg, I
No.
watched that back, looking at Dalberg's face, he did not look happy. His face was like, I'm just going to go out to the pitch and I'm just going to forget this has ever happened. I don't want to be a part of
Feel
this.
bad
makes you
for
think,
us.
doesn't
You can
it?
tell. And there has been I think there's a rift. I agree with what you're saying. I
In
think
the
Javi has
goalkeepers,
lost
yeah.
part of the dressing room.
Mariappa.
My question mark though is, I can't see us getting anything in the next 3 matches. I think he'll be told he'll stay on for Sheffield United, and that
And then
will
he'll go after that.
that will be a massive game for us. But it may well be irrelevant by
Might be
then.
too late, but yeah.
Because let's be honest, if we're not getting anything, if we're being realistic, if we're not going to get anything from Arsenal, Man City, Wolves away. Quick math. How many points do we have?
Still on 1.
Right.
It'll be about
And
5 or
then
6
this-
points off
Quick maths.
people.
And then
Quick
this
maths.
quick maths. And then this early season, it's just early days, is going to start looking
Yeah.
a little bit more serious in early October.
No win in that'll be 7. No win 7.
No win in 7, and let's be honest, Sheffield United at home, we win that, great, that's 4 points, terrific. Draw that, damn.
Right, yeah,
Lose
he's
that,
gone.
and Chris Wilder has the ability, as we've seen, as I've seen Sheffield United set up in certain matches, 2 shithouse wins, because let's be honest.
That's
As I
really
say-
the league.
That's
as I say
what
a
we're
lot-
going to do, yeah.
As I say a lot
Fair
in this
play to them.
channel, with my famous, they've seen the fixture list, they will have circled Watford away, there's a potential to get points.
A lot of
Bingo,
teams do.
Shane
It will
Bingo,
play-
if you're playing
it will
Shane
play,
Bingo.
yeah, it will-
That's
if
a
anyone
tick.
is out there, right?
I'll make that.
But
Absolutely.
seriously though, but in all seriousness,
Yeah.
they would have circled that game, and that for them is a golden
3 points.
match.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
3
It's a
point
golden
match.
match, but not because it's 3 points, not because any reason of that, for one reason and one reason only. Championship is a championship tasty fixture for them. It's what they're used to.
Yeah.
We've had a few seasons now, been accustomed to Premier League, having to set up, sexy
Slightly
football,
smaller size
all that,
ground, that sort of thing. Bring
that
their
kind of
away
thing.
fans.
They'll bring down their away fans. They'll
Oh,
make a
100%.
shit ton of noise, and oh my god, are they going to be up for it? Scrappy championship, Burnley-esque, Brexit football, bring it all back, because it's going to happen. And the question is, are we going to have the mettle in what will be a huge game for Javi if he's still
To
here?
show our quality as well, yeah.
Yeah, to show our quality. I remember, let's be clear as well, and my final point, we've not fared very well against the newly promoted sides that have come up here. Cardiff, alright, yeah, we were 3-1 up, but my god, we very nearly fucked that up.
Fulham as well, we were 1-0
Fulham.
down.
Swansea.
Fulham, we drew at Craven
I know they
Cottage.
won.
I remember Swansea,
Swansea,
Jesus.
yeah.
We won't even
I
start
think
on that.
we need to play like we did against Burnley at Burnley last season,
Yeah.
where we played our nice attacking football with great passing and moving.
I'll tell you what, Robin, though, I think it
Against
helped
that
that we
sort
were
of
away from home.
Yeah.
The freedom of that team is gone.
Yeah.
Has just
So
vanished.
And the
The
kind
Vic
of-
is slightly hostile right now.
the Vic is slightly hostile, and it's not the fortress that it was last year. There was a lot of teams that came to, particularly in the up until January,
Spurs.
that came. Yeah, first
Yeah.
four games. I mean, you look at it and you think, not one of those teams would have fancied coming to Watford. Like we were on a fantastic run. Come on, okay. We towards
Who
the back
have
end
we
last
beaten at
season,
Vicarage
we were-
Road? We've beaten Arsenal at Vicarage Road, Chelsea, we've
Liverpool.
done Liverpool, United we've
Yeah,
beaten,
United.
Well,
Spurs
City
we've
we have,
beaten,
yeah.
everyone
Under
except City
Mazzarri.
we've beaten
Yeah.
at Vicarage
Thrown
Road.
out over seasons.
Yeah.
Like-
But still, people would have been like, oh, remember that time we went to
But-
Watford and they beat us 4-1? That's what
Exactly.
Chelsea would have
And
said.
that's what we have with Arsenal coming up. Because, you ask any of their fans, they'll be nervous.
Oh, yeah.
FA Cup quarter final, Eunice Kabul free kick. Will be living in their minds.
Yeah.
Genie moment, of course, which will stay
Guardiola as
for
well.
everyone.
Kona
Guardiola
as well,
the
yeah.
FA Cup. But I want to, I think the last point to kind of make on this, which was startling for me, right? Every Friday, in a paper called the Evening Standard, freebie paper for those that don't know. I'm not watching this in
York or
in
something. yeah.
London. Yeah. There is a column by Mark Noble, and he wrote a column last Friday. Every Friday,
What, West Ham captain?
yeah, the West Ham
Oh,
captain
right.
writes
Didn't know
about
that.
the Evening Standard. Yeah, so it's like he writes exclusively for the Standard, etc. Talks about West Ham, talks about other issues and stuff in football, and obviously he was talking about making how many appearances enough is it
Over 400?
Yeah, over 400
Yeah.
appearances plus the goal he scored. Obviously, amazingly, he managed to score against us as well.
Yeah.
So that's something else to talk about as well. But the one thing I remember him saying was in that column was I said to Antonio, obviously when he came on, just run up that back line. They're knackered. They're shattered. There's nothing about them.
There's no pace
and
in that.
And what is the first thing Antonio did? Ball through, ran at them. Slightly too long for him, but he made them work in that. And he said that midfield, he even went as far as to say, the midfield that we were up against, we were given so much time, so much room. The game, it felt like a free-flowing kind of game. And obviously went on to talk about how great it was to score yet another goal against us, because he seems to do it every time he plays us. But it was startling for someone, a captain, to come out and say, yeah, do you know, I told that player to go and run at them, and you know what, it worked. Yeah, it was like, yeah, he's basically saying, right, this is
Their
was the
shit, run
tactic
at them,
within the
yeah.
last 20 minutes or so. Go off and run at the defence. And for him to say, yeah, they're up to nothing, they don't look sharp, that's disgraceful.
Yeah.
That's
Really?
It's
Did
true.
he actually say
It's
that,
true.
really?
It's
Yeah.
true though. It's
Yeah.
I mean, he is
100%
saying
They
true.
that.
weren't
Back
sharp.
there.
His actual words were, they weren't sharp, you can get at them.
Wow.
Excellent.
Wow.
Excellent.
I'm
A
surprised
captain
I'm-
is now
yeah,
coming
yeah,
out
yeah.
and saying that.
I mean, Troy said it to other teams, hasn't he? And then when you getting a taste of our medicine here.
What was the Bournemouth one? He was like, well, their boys were giving us stick. The
Yeah.
Zaha stuff where he was like, we take turns kicking
Yeah, but the
him, all
difference
that
is
sort of
that that
stuff.
column that Mark Noble wrote was published 6 days after a victory. And let's be clear, they won that game
Yeah.
by pretty comfortable in the end. And Noble, let's be honest, was never really made to work in that midfield, was he? Let's just be honest.
But there we go. I think I'll have to say I'm surprised Javier didn't go after the Newcastle game. I got the impression that
It was
he
his
needed
time,
4
yeah.
points from West Ham and Newcastle. We managed to get 1. And just frankly, the performances have been utterly woeful.
Should we talk about what Deeney said, today or yesterday?
I want to say actually just one thing before we do move on to Dini. It's nothing against Javi.
Yeah.
I love Javi. He's given us
Completely, yeah, of
one
course.
of quite possibly the greatest moments
Best finishing
in our history.
So obviously get FA Cup final with 30
I think that
goals.
semi-final was better than the
FA Cup
Leicester game.
semi-final. Yeah.
I'm saying it.
Now, overall, yeah, of course.
The
Because
day, yeah, I get what
the
you
day
mean.
we got into a cup
The
final
moment.
was incredible. I mean, absolutely amazing. But as the saying goes, and it's a sad one to say, all good things must come to an end.
It's like
At the end of the
Zola.
day, unfortunately, with Zola as well, but unfortunately, at the end of the day,
Carbon copy.
as everyone's going to say, as all pundits say, as all fans say, as you've heard it many times growing up, whether you're 5 or 55, you've heard it from day dot, football is a results-driven business. And quite simply, we haven't picked up the results. And for that reason alone, I'm struggling to understand why Javi is still here.
Not
It's
mentioning
going to get
performances.
worse.
Yeah.
It's going to get worse.
You can have rubbish performances and win 3 games in a row. That's what.
That's what Burnley
let's
did.
say-
That's what Man U did under Ferguson. They play badly. They win 2-0.
Yeah.
They take their chances. We just don't
Look at
take
some
our
of the
chances.
players in
anymore.
that team as well.
Scenario.
I mean, Hungary.
Next 4 games.
Yeah.
Arsenal at home, we pick up a point. Manchester City
Lose.
win losing. Wolves, we win. Sheffield United, we win. Does your opinion change of Javi?
Yes.
We're
of
on
course.
8 points then. So
Yes.
yeah, I think 8 points by then. 8 points from 7 games.
Okay. We draw to... The only win we get is Sheffield United, but we draw to Arsenal and Wolves.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
take that.
that's acceptable.
Yeah, we'll take that.
So
If
what
we don't
is-
get 1 win,
So
yeah.
I'll put it to you. How many points does he need to save his job before October? Because
4.
they have effectively said
6,
they're gonna-
six,
We,
four.
are we including Sheffield United in this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the 4
Next
games
4
are
games.
next.
I would
international
probably
break.
say... I'd say 5.
Yeah.
I think we need to get something out of Wolves.
I'd
5.
say-
And if you think he's gone.
Four as a minimum. He has to beat Sheffield United and he has to get a result against Wolves.
I
or
argue
Arsenal.
we've got to get something at home to
Yeah,
Arsenal.
Arsenal's a
Home
massive
games
game
we've
now.
got to. Wolves away, are you serious? Like, forget about what we're going to see on the pitch. It's going to be tough for the fans as well off the pitch. You know where they put us, lack of atmosphere. We did very well there last season, but Wolves...
It's like
tricky
stretched
Tricky.
out. It's weird.
Tricky
Yeah.
opponents. Their fans make it hard for us. The players will make it hard for us.
It'll be a grudge match.
It will be.
100%.
It will be a proper. It will be, as they say, a tasty fixture. And right now, I'll be quite blunt. We don't really need a tasty fixture. We just need a fixture
We need a
that's
walk
quite
in the
simple
park. Yeah,
that we can
yeah,
actually
yeah.
just go and win.
We want
And
Arsenal to
Wolves
turn up and
are
flop.
the one team that will absolutely not give that to us.
Yeah.
Because they've got Europa League football on that Thursday, so they'll be keen. Yep, 3:00 kickoff. Let's get this sorted.
We're on a Saturday, yeah.
We're on a Saturday.
Not a
They
Sunday.
they play no. They play on the Thursday.
Yeah,
coming up.
the one
Yeah.
after that. They'll want to get that out of the way.
They'll want to get it out of the way.
Wolves
Right.
Wolves are looking good.
Great,
You know.
60
Wolves are
minutes,
looking good.
an hour gone. Right, let's get a few goals, take off our best players.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And do you know what? They play to their strengths.
You
They're
can
going
see
to
it
bloody
as
well do
well.
that by
You
half
can see
time.
it.
They'll come out of the blocks really hard.
Next 4 games, big, but we'll also be without Troy. Played against Brighton, played against Everton. Then it was confirmed that he had an operation.
He was trying to play with an injury.
Which
Basically.
I'm
Done it
not.
before.
I'll
Done
be
it
honest.
before.
I don't really understand the club's stance on that in terms of letting him do that. But there we go. It's been effectively confirmed that he's going to be out for several weeks. However, on the club's website, he did an interview with the club and said, "I don't want to put a timescale on it,"
Christmas.
which
say until
suggests
Christmas.
he's going to be out for a while.
Yeah. New Year.
How big a blow is that?
It's going to be massive because the next time I'll see Troy, I'll have other stuff like turkey and mince pies down me. And, yeah.
Andre Gray needs to step up massively. Danny Welbeck needs to score
This
ASAP.
is my problem, right? You know, you've touched on it just then with like, you're not sure about the club's stance on it, about whether or not Troy should start his games. But my question is, all right, and it's a question that's been, has been around for a while now, right? How many seasons have we been in the Prem for?
This
Since
are
2015.
2015. Fifth season in the Prem.
Yeah.
And we're still reliant on Troy Deeney. There's still that thing about him.
our 2013
Oh, Troy's
player of
not
the
there.
year.
Are
It's
we,
fine.
are we though, in terms of on the
Yeah.
pitch performances?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
if he was injured, why
100%.
was he not just sent off for his operation 2 weeks before? He's
Yeah.
had this injury since.
Is it the fact? I think
Since
we've got to be. I
pre-season.
think we've got to be
He's had his
careful.
injury since
Are
Real
we
Sociedad,
reliant on
I
him,
believe.
or do we
Yeah.
think or should we be reliant on him?
Should
it's-
we?
We should have moved.
There's
I
a
know.
difference, I think,
Yeah.
because we've looked at the game start of kind of the way we played with Troy in the start, particularly at the start of the season. Brighton, he was dominated by Lewis Dunk,
Three
Burns,
centre backs
Right.
and the other guy.
I forgot
The young guy, he's really tall. Don't know his name.
Burns, Dunk. Who was the other one?
Dan Burn,
Yeah, it was 3.
Dunk.
Oh, Duffy, that's
Duffy,
it.
yeah.
Duffy, and Dunk.
It was
Actually,
easy pickings for those 3.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
All
It was
day.
just win a header, knock it back
Okay,
down. Yeah.
Everton, we
Yeah.
go away. Now Troy had that big chance where
Should have scored
Pickford
that.
saved.
Should have scored. Sorry,
But-
Should have scored.
Again, offered very little. You know, we were launching it long. It didn't work. So I put it to you, and I say, I think actually it could be a blessing in disguise that No, I don't want any player to get injured. I'm
of
just
course.
saying.
No.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in terms of actually, it could force us to play a different way. We saw it against West Ham, and although for our defensive frailties, going forward we were a lot better. 23 shots. We weren't clinical, but we were a lot better.
But the point is, and some people watching us will have played football. If you feel something, you kind of say something.
Yeah.
He's not. This isn't the first time. This isn't heroic
played football,
Troy.
didn't
It's
you?
the start of the season. Yeah, of course I did.
Hey, my guy.
Yeah, look at this man.
My guy.
Yeah,
Go on.
Be his optimist, yeah?
Go on, score some goals.
If you'd
mate.
like to see Shay play at the Uxbridge Jords, then find it on a
No,
Sunday.
you can't.
WD18 charity match, shade up top. Come on.
But look, but in all seriousness,
Go on then,
though, like, if you're playing like regularly, all right, start the season for Troy. This isn't a case of it's the first set of games of the season. I need to be in there. He's done this before. He's played on with an injury, a toe injury, I think it was last season, right?
And then he was out for a bit.
Why are you risking yourself? Because he's made it worse. Let's just be clear.
He said
I don't
himself
need to
it
have-
was a stupid
I don't need to
decision,
have
yeah.
a physiotherapy degree to know that Troy starting those first 3 matches has now made his injury worse. The fact that on a lot of sites, Watford's won, fantasy football if you play it,
Including the Sociedad. For
yeah,
the first
including the
few games,
Sociedad, he was injured for the Sociedad game. He went for a challenge in the Sociedad game, apparently.
Yeah, we were there. I
on
remember
the
that.
byline,
Yeah,
And
we
I
saw
was
that.
there.
I remember that.
It
We
was
saw
quite
that.
a meaty challenge. I thought, okay, wow, right, okay, well, he's carried on.
enough, yeah.
He felt it. And I know
That
he
was
felt
it.
it because I remember him getting up and being like,
Wincing a little bit.
and he knew.
Yeah.
But why do you not say, do you know what, boss, do you know what, gaffer, I'm not fit for the game, I need to have this operation.
Well, I think he
I need
thinks
to get
we
it.
rely on him.
I need to get it, and this is my point. Why are we so reliant on him? Let Troy go off and let him come back 3 weeks earlier. It's made it worse. Let's just be clear. He's still in hospital, by the way. Today, the selfie picture, I think that the club tweeted. He's still in hospital. It's not just a surgery and he's gone. He's gonna be in the hospital for a while. I just get the feeling.
He'll be in and out.
Who's to
yeah.
blame, Robin?
I think it's I think
injury.
Troy. You sometimes just no.
Shane,
Ventriloquist. I spoke
You can
without
tell
him.
Shane is so passionate.
No, I'm doing
Honestly,
this. Go,
go,
go.
go, Robin.
Go, Robin. Go.
I
Thoughts on
really
the whole
have-
thing?
Yeah,
Is
no, I don't
it
really have an
Troy
answer.
or was it the club or?
I mean, our medical system's been bad for a while. They brought in loads of new stuff
there was
last
new players,
season.
yeah.
Yeah, whenever a big player gets injured, I'm like, we won't see him for a good few months. If they say he's out for a month, I'm like, 3 months. I don't think we'll see Troy until the new year. And I think Javi's now he better be using this break to work out how we're going to score goals, because apart from catching Newcastle sleeping, and I can't remember how we scored against
I mean,
West
let's
Ham.
be
How did we
honest.
score
Right,
against
okay,
West
hang
Ham?
on a minute. Catching
Andre
Newcastle
Gray, great
sleep.
finish,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
That's
just
the
playing.
goalkeeper.
Yeah.
We need to do
Yeah.
that more. We need to play
we
Gray
need to
through,
do
so he's 1-on-1 with a keeper, because we saw it against Sociedad. Saw it in pre-season. He scored 4 goals in pre-season, and that's a 5th now. In whatever it is, 2 months now. Play Andre through. Use your wingers. Use Delafeu. Use Sarr as people running off, dragging him. He will run into that space and finish it 1-on-1. I have confidence in him to do that now. But if
Gray-
we're not playing
Gray
to
will
that
do
style, if we're trying to long ball it up to Andre Gray, that's what annoys me.
I agree. I think the thing is, if we go just quickly, just touching on Troy, I think he thought. Well, I think he knows. A shame. We do rely on him to an extent. I think particularly off the pitch in terms of what he brings for his leadership qualities. He knows he has to be around the dressing room, and that is probably the bit I actually think.
Even if it's as a sub.
Yeah,
Literally.
and I agree, and I think actually the biggest blow for us is not having his voice in the dressing room,
Yeah.
and actually not his impact on the pitch, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's actually what he brings off the
And
pitch.
there's a reason
Even that
for
team
that.
talk
Honestly,
at
it is.
half time
And
and
there's a
things
reason-
like that. Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And there's a reason for that, and there's a lack of nous in that team. To be like, if Troy's injured, if Troy can't be at the game, then who's going to step up and be a leader?
I mean,
have you seen a single leader? Have I seen a single man shout at that back line? No.
I have
Do I
to
see
say,
Cathcart and Dawson be commanding, be vocal as they should be in the back line? No.
I have to say, when Capu was captain against West Ham, we saw it. He was on the floor moaning at the ref. He was normal Capu, which is fine. Normal Capu isn't like a captain, but he's not taken that leadership, which is why I think whenever Mariappa played, it was either the Sociedad game or earlier in pre-season. I remember hearing he's going, Darryl left, Darryl right,
Yeah,
Craig,
Matt's
he's on it. And I think Mariappa, he might not be the technically best football or the best centre-back we have, but the way these centre-backs are playing, I'd love to see him come back in, because the way he sticks himself on the line for the team, and the way he shouts and he has his voice and that leadership quality, we are severely lacking that in defence. Our defence looks like melting butter every time a striker runs at it. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
No, I think that's
They don't
a
have
fair
a clue
point.
what they're
That's
doing.
a fair point. I think certainly Mariappa, although as you mentioned, you say
He's been
not
on the fringes.
Although you say he's not the technically most gifted defender, he's probably better than what we have at the moment.
Yeah, he is.
He's experienced.
and also, as you mentioned, for his leadership quality, certainly it would be a
that
good
beautiful
addition.
beard.
I think. Just want to move it on. We've talked a bit about Troy there. Let us know what you think about the whole Deeney situation. It's a really, really odd one. And another odd one was the Backman situation. Shane touched on. I think I pointed it out on
Gomez
Twitter. If you have a look.
covered up his face with an emoji.
Yeah, you don't-
Batman was liking tweets about
It's
him.
weird. I think.
I mean, Backman actually normally does like tweets about him. I will say that when he was on loan, he was liking all the tweets saying, "Oh,
But
I
there's
really
the-
want Backman to
All I'm
stay."
going to say is Daniel Backman knew what he was doing posting that picture.
Oh, of course he was.
Number two, he knew what he was doing, liking those tweets saying,
Yeah.
"Give young goalkeepers a chance."
Yeah.
And Aurelio Gomez,
But
in my
it's-
opinion, knew what he was doing.
but
Putting
it's
emoji
different.
Yeah, over his
Backman's
face.
But it's different, right? When it's just banter. It's different when it's just a fan commenting with 7 of those laughing emojis. Oh, Aurelio's still here. Compared to someone, and a couple of those tweets.
Those
there,
harsh
one
tweets.
One tweet on there was like, "This guy's just delaying your development." A like on that. Come on.
Harsh.
Come on, it's not banter anymore. It's not banter. He's
clearly
not.
properly
Yeah.
angry about
100%.
it. He's properly
And
angry.
I think, yeah, you
about
don't.
I would be too, man.
The Gomez one, we're just kind of the Gomez post. I don't know if you guys seen it. Gomez put like an emoji over Backman's face. We're kind of putting 2 and 2 together, but I'd be very surprised if there wasn't a little bit of a rift between those two. We're going to rate Watford's transfer business over the summer. We actually got round to doing a season preview with Shane. We recorded it outside Vicarage Road, and then the next day I think it was.
Sarr got signed.
Ismaila Sarr got signed,
And Welbeck.
and then it was completely irrelevant, really. So we're kind of doing a
Catch
review
up,
of the
bit of catch
transfer
up.
business now, which I do apologise about.
But it's good because we're not being speculative. We're
True.
being
Yeah.
assessive.
No, I agree. I think 3 big ins to talk about. Well, big. Yeah. Wow.
Big ears.
First one, quick fire.
That's great. Let's go.
First one, Shane. Craig Dawson out of 10. What would you rate him?
2.
2.
Yeah.
I would say 4 or 5.
I think.
The thing is,
it's a tough one. I
yeah.
just think with Craig Dawson potentially.
Potentially could be solid, but
Yeah.
he hasn't been yet.
And I think potentially a lot of, not potentially, a lot of Watford fans, say about 90% of Watford fans, overestimated his
Yeah.
impact.
We thought he was like Virgil van Dijk.
Well,
literally.
yeah.
But-
I mean, I think we. Yeah,
but
go
I
on,
think
Shane.
we were just grateful the fact that we'd actually just
Signed a
someone.
centre back, yeah.
But here's the thing. Everyone's been saying Dawson's had a season out of the Premier League. There's a reason for that. He's a championship player. We've added another championship player
To our championship
a back
defence.
line of championship players. Apart from Holobassing, Feminine, obviously. But our 2 centre backs.
Feminine has been
Mariappa
championship quality this season.
He's been poor.
Feminine has been
He's been-
poor
yeah,
this
he's been
season.
And I love
because he's been
Kiko.
placed under
Yeah.
pressure.
He's been
But
poor.
again, it's all this stuff that was just swept
There
under
was
the
a-
carpet last season.
There was a brilliant
It's true.
tweet.
It was.
There was a
No,
brilliant
it's
tweet
fair.
by a Watford account showing the average formation over the last 4 games, our first 4 games at the start of the season. And the formation has
even
been
want
so.
to see that,
You know this
yeah.
tweet. The fullbacks have been at right and left mid position,
think I was,
and the centre backs have been all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I did
Yeah.
see that. I did see
Remember
that.
though, remember
Crazy,
that
innit?
tweet that went around last season. Cathcart and Mariappa were the same centre backs that started. What is it, 7-8 years ago?
2013
Plymouth or
against
something?
Plymouth, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the
Wow.
same guy. And guess what? They're still here. Cathcart's still starting. We've just added another guy in that back line.
And I think a lot of people forget we gave Cathcart a new 4-year deal last.
Give him a new
Yeah.
4-year deal.
Was it in the summer?
Yeah, and
It
all
was
those,
either last
and all
season or
those,
the
and all
summer.
those West Brom fans I look at that were I thought being bitter because they lost a player. All these players been like great.
Yeah,
you've done
he's
us
gone.
a massive
Yeah.
favour.
They weren't
Get
wrong, were
They
they?
were so
effed,
correct.
basically, kind of thing. I was like, oh yeah, you're just being bitter. Oh yeah, because the players just left you.
Mm.
Yeah. Maybe you should have listened to them.
Right.
Maybe.
There we go. It's Sarr, quickly.
So far he's been 7, 8 out of 10.
Look good.
I mean,
against
actually no,
Coventry.
7's harsh. I'd say 8 because when he's come on, he's been good, and he
Coventry
scored
as
against
well.
Coventry. So he's done his job. He
8
just
out
needs
of 10.
needs more game time.
8 out of 10. I swear to God, that guy's going to have the world on his shoulders at this club.
It's not good. Yeah, it's not fair, is it?
It's not
For
fair
a
on him.
21-year-old.
But he needs
if
to
he
fill us
keeps
up.
on impressing the fans, he keeps on going, he'll be great.
And I like the new chant for him. Have you seen it?
Which one's that?
I think there was a couple suggested.
There was loads
actually.
of them going round.
There was
Scotty
the,
Sinclair. There was
yeah, your that was a good suggestion for you.
There was what's the one that everyone?
Starman playing on the
Starman and another one which Star will tear you apart again.
Oh, woke up this morning feeling fine. Got Ismail Assar running down the line.
Yeah,
that's shout out to Roy Moore. Fantastic.
Love Roy. Absolutely love Roy.
Also, congrats on the nomination for the
everyone go vote for him.
Mayor's
Yeah,
award. I'll actually leave the link down in the comment section, but not comment section, the bio below.
Yeah.
So make sure you go and vote and
support
Roy.
Yeah.
They've also
got my dad to go vote.
Yeah.
the 1881 have also been nominated for a Football Supporters Foundation award as well. So fantastic work by them.
Especially at Wembley, I think that brought a lot of attention to them.
100%.
Yeah.
And deserved as well.
Oh, 100%.
Danny Welbeck.
6. He
How
hasn't
much
done
have I seen
much.
of Welbeck?
Like 10 minutes.
Commentary 90 minutes.
9 minutes of Coventry and Everton away.
Yep.
He came on.
5.
Yeah, he's not that much.
Danny Welbeck. I
I
love the way we just switched the Richarlison chants. Danny Welbeck.
Danny. Valon mate.
Valon
It's the Valon
Barami.
chant.
That
Don't
was-
tell me it's
what an
Richarlison.
iconic chant.
Jesus.
But you know what though, with Welbeck,
have
I'm
him back?
sure he's not had much of a chance so far to maybe make an impression, but he'll be looking at the next game, won't he? Hopefully.
Arsenal.
He gets the
Oh,
chance.
I'd love him to score a winner against
Well,
Arsenal.
come on, you're gonna bring him on. You're gonna bring someone on to rough up that defence. Troy's not here. Go and get someone.
Stefano,
I think you'd be
okay.
ideal.
I
I think
know,
you would be
Oh,
ideal.
hang on.
He's not here. He's not here. Oh.
So what we're saying for Welbeck, just quickly rating out of 10. 5.
6.
I'd give him a 6.
Yeah, he's
and it was
average.
good to get 90 minutes. The other.
Although he
against
could change to an 8 with his next
Well, quite
performance.
quickly.
Yeah, very quickly.
If he scores any at
If he
any
scores
time
now, he's a
against
10.
Arsenal, it's going to be a 10. And if he brings back the Salt Bay goal celebration as well.
No, he doesn't add a Bayor and runs over to the fans.
Brilliant. Just got Danny Welbeck just sliding on his knees in front of Robbie.
DT's like goes home.
God, the content.
Punched an assist.
God, the content.
That will be
Looking forward to AFTV outside if we beat them. Not gonna lie, if we beat them, that should be brilliant.
Cleverly, you say my birthday.
Oh, yeah,
iconic.
yeah.
Talk about outgoings.
Tom.
Talking about outgoings. There was a
seen the
couple
name.
of irrelevant ones. I think, to be fair, I actually would have kept Ken Sema. Unpopular
100%.
opinion.
Ken Sema
running
down the wing.
Listen.
Let's listen to the next bit. Right.
He did it
I actually
anyway.
heard someone sing that.
Yeah. No, what was it at? At Sociedad, we went.
Oh my
we sat there. We went.
God.
Jesus Christ! He cannot kick a football. He can run fast,
I
but he
would've
can't
kept
kick a
him. I
football.
really would.
Literally,
Kept him.
pace, pure pace. Got to the byline, pure pace. What am I going to do with it? I'm going to hit it against the defender. Corner kick. Yeah, I've done something. Yeah. No. Go.
Gave away the
Good
penalty.
On loan to Nazy. Quick fire. Luke Bacchio to Hertha Berlin for 18 million.
10 out of 10 business. 20 million. Beautiful.
Cucho to Mallorca.
That's
on
a
loan.
loan.
Going to
so
improve his performances. I hope we get the chance to see him.
Please come back.
Every single time I see that fucking picture of him and the whole that swap sign signal, I get worried that we're never going to see him in a Watford shirt. But
You played a lot of career, man.
experience, I do. No, I meant not that. I meant on like
The
Twitter.
famous Obiolari's gone to, I think, a Standard Liège for 2 million.
Sorry,
2
what?
million?
Hang on.
Obiolari.
Oh, what? You still our player?
No, he's gone now.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought he went 5 years ago, mate.
Lovely little
Bye.
cameo against Newcastle in the FA Cup. And also European deadline day, which is past a week and a half
Few
ago. I
days,
think.
yeah. It was Coventry.
2 outgoings, I think, if I can remember correctly. Stefano's gone to Udinese.
Big Steph, 10 out of 10.
Farewell, sweet prince. And number 2, Adalberto Peñaranda's gone to KAS UPenn, which is in
They're
the...
pretty much the same as us in Belgium right now. They're bottom. They haven't
But
scored.
my
So hopefully he scores
It's
a
a
few
technical league.
Hopefully he scores a lot of goals and keeps them up.
My problem
Or something
here,
like that.
though,
And so-
my big problem with these is that, alright, we can look at Ken Sema and say maybe you should have stayed, fair enough. Right. For me, Peñaranda, loan deal, loads of people kicking off about that. I can't understand why.
Bring
It's
him-
a loan
yeah.
deal, he's going off to get more experience.
He's going to get
and
minutes.
it's pretty bloody clear he's not going to play any minutes
I
for
agree,
us.
I agree.
Because we all called for him to come on and do something at Newcastle, wasn't even in the squad. My last point, though, about Okaka, the Sweet Prince.
My guy.
God, that
That
flick
guy.
against Everton.
Oh.
Goodness me.
I'll live long in the memory.
Stop
But
it.
it's those kind of games, and I think to myself, if we put him on a bench, can he change things up for us?
Yeah.
Probably could.
With 15 minutes,
So why has
20
he
minutes
gone
to go.
to Udinese? We are lacking without Troy. We don't know how long Troy's out for. If Troy's out till Christmas. How many strikers have we got?
Gray,
Welbeck.
Welbeck, and Success.
Delafeu.
Then Delafeu.
Delafeu.
Push.
Fair enough. We've got 4, but
We could have
Okaka
loaned out
gives you
success
something
instead
different.
of Okaka. I genuinely think
That
Okaka's
is
better
exactly my
impact than
point.
success.
Why is Isaac's success still here?
Well, I thought success was going to go when Danny Welbeck took number 10 out
Yeah.
of him. I didn't really...
What
I
number is he now?
was
Like
22.
Yeah.
Yeah, all European leagues would have looked at that.
First
and thought,
reported here on
I don't want that, thank you.
WD18.
Yeah,
I just think Stefano Okaka offers something that no other striker at the club offers, and if you want Isaac's success to be a big target man, I think the only good thing that I've seen him in person do, he obviously the assist against Coventry.
Very good assist.
Last season when we played Man City with our second team, he won about 20 fouls, which I rate.
Yeah.
Like if he's clever enough to hold up the ball and win fouls,
If Isaac's success is the answer, Robin, we're all
we have a
asking the wrong question.
massive problem.
Okaka is, I think, for me, a better player.
And that pretty much wraps it up, doesn't
I
it?
think it does wrap it up. And I'm just thinking about that Stefano's goal against Liverpool. First game of the season, Everton at home.
Yeah.
Tell you what, he did
He scored 2 against
scored
Everton.
a couple of, I think he scored 6 goals.
Yes,
Since he
and
did.
now let's all list Isaac's successes goals. Bournemouth where he dabbed
Dab
the
goal.
game against Boys.
Null and void dabbing occurred.
That's a
And
brilliant
Spurs.
header. That's where we're going to wrap up this week's podcast, or this month's podcast, effectively.
Yeah.
I do apologise about the delay. We had a lot to talk about. A really long episode, I think.
About an hour and a bit, yeah.
Enjoyed it. It was
Nice.
good to have the lads to come over and give their thoughts. We'll try and do these podcasts maybe once every 2 weeks, once every fortnight, if we can. It might be a little bit difficult with me and Rob.
Might end up doing it on Skype, I think, we maybe instead
Skype,
of getting here.
could potentially. But yeah, make sure you do check out all our socials, Twitter, Instagram. We've also set up a new website for all our articles, fan opinion articles, which will be coming soon. We're trying to get a few writers on board to contribute there. Make sure you check out all our content on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, comment down below any thoughts on the podcast today, anything you agree, disagree with, have he in, have he out, Deeney's injury, rating the transfers. Do you agree with what we've said today? Make sure you do tell us in the comment section below. Really enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.